I am not enough. Have you ever felt that way? Well, I am not enough, and I'm damn proud of it. Early last year, I sat in the school classroom where we hold Toastmasters, and I looked up and saw on the wall a sign. The teacher would have put it there to inspire and motivate the children. So I want you to imagine with me for a moment that you're a 12-year-old and you're looking at this sign day in, day out. You read it again, and you read it again. What does that really mean? I may not be perfect, but I am enough. You think of all the uses of the word enough. Mum asks if we've had enough to eat. Mum and Dad often are. I hear them speaking and saying, do we have enough for the bills this month? And then there's, I've had enough. Yes, Mum definitely says that one. So what does it mean? You reach for your dictionary app. Enough, sufficient, adequate. That doesn't sound very good. I'm sufficient. I'm adequate. Must be something more. Adequate. Mediocre. I am mediocre. Now, how do you feel? Do you feel inspired and motivated, or do you feel small and insignificant? Why do we say these things? Why do we tell children that they are not perfect? Why do we limit them to being enough? Whenever I hear someone say, you are enough, I can't help myself. I yell out, I'm not. Because in fact, I am infinitely magnificent. Rather than enough, I choose to be magnificent. So let's look at the word magnificent. It means splendor, impressive, exceptional, great indeed. Yes, that is something that I can aspire to be. So let's bask in my infinite magnificence for a moment. 19 months ago, my grandson Mason was born. When I held him in my arms for the first time and I looked at that sweet, perfect face and saw all that infinite potential within him, in a split second, I could see him going from this tiny baby to a toddler, to a boy, to a teenager, to a young man. And he wrapped his arms around me and I heard his voice and he said, thank you, Grandma, for teaching me to believe in myself. I question, how is it that my beautiful, perfect Mason could possibly go from being perfect now to becoming imperfect by the age of 12? Well, of course, his behaviour may not always be perfect. However, if he's perfect now, isn't he always going to be perfect? And all of this infinite potential, it's not just his to explore and maybe to get to in the future. It is him now. It is who he is. The innovator, the explainer, the verifier, the achiever, and the genius. He is that now, and he will be that when he is an old man. It will always be him. So how can he ever be just enough? He is now and will always be infinitely magnificent. We don't know what the full potential of being human is. We have no idea. And I tried to research, but just sent me around in circles because no one really knows. So I thought we'd look at some of those infinitely magnificent achievements by humans. The 4-minute mile was thought to be impossible to run until Roger Bannister ran 3.59.4 in 1954. Now it's 3.43. Automobiles were very new in 1903, but the Wright brothers didn't say, That's enough. They took to the skies. Going to the moon was thought to be impossible when JFK deemed that they would reach it. A man walked on the moon in 1969, and now the race is on to send a team of women to Mars. Hang on a minute, I want to remember this moment. I'll just take a selfie. Do you think any of these people involved in these achievements thought that they were enough? They knew their potential would only be limited by thinking they were enough. They knew that their potential was way beyond what they could see, so they kept on going. Whenever someone says that something is impossible, someone else will go out there and prove them wrong. There is always someone who will recognize that they are more than they ever need to be. They know that they have infinite magnificence, and so will take that extra step, go the extra mile to make the impossible possible. I invite you to always remember that you are more than you will ever need to be. So please join me in a revolution against all this enough. It's just enough. Whenever anyone says to you, you are enough, I want you to shout out, I'm not. I am infinitely magnificent. Thank you.